I need to add something to your lesson 1-7. For some reason I didn't do these with you, but you need to know this to do your homework. So for function values, this is called function notation. A lot of times you see it like this, but f of x just means this. X just represents the letter or number or some number that needs to go into the equation. So you can read all of this and see what it says, but it works out to be this. If you're asked to find f of 5, you just write the same equation and take out the x, and then wherever you see the x, put a parentheses. It helps with negatives and exponents if you put in this parentheses for this x. So really do that all the time. Well, instead of the x, that's 5. So this is just a weird way of saying x equals 5. Actually, when you get to complex equations, it's pretty helpful. But so instead of the x on 3x minus 8, I'm going to put 3 times 5 minus 8. And then you just simplify. So this is 15 minus 8, which equals 7. Okay, there's really not much to it. It gets a little bit more complex, though, when you see something like this, a negative 5p here. So again, we'll check this and make sure you've got it. So f, take out the x, put a parentheses. This time they want you to put 4 in there. So this is 3 times 4 is 12 minus 4, and this equals 8. This next one, f, take out the x, leave a parentheses, and now you're going to see how this helps, because if you put a parentheses there, it looks like that instead of like this. See, these are different operations. One is multiplication, one is minus. So you don't want to do that. Make sure that you're putting in a parentheses. Okay, so this equals negative 15p minus 4 because you have to multiply that. Okay, a function with a graph that's not a straight line is a nonlinear function. This one, if I graph this one, it turns out that it looks like an arc. So it'll be something like this. Okay, and you can find h of 2 same way. Got to write an h instead of an f though. So this is h of 2 equals 180 minus 16. This is again where the parentheses are so helpful. We're going to put 2 in there and get this squared. If you don't do that, you might miss an exponent. So this equals 180 minus 16 times 2 times 2. Just the 2 just applies to the thing in parentheses. So this equals 180 minus 16 times 2 is 32 times 2. So this is 180 minus 64, which equals 116. H of 3z, again, take out the x out of the original equation, or the t, sorry, there was a t there, and you're going to plug in, instead of the t, you're going to take it out and put a parentheses there, put your squared there. Now inside that parentheses goes the 3z. So again, this is a lot different than if you don't use those parentheses. So this is 180 minus 16 times 3z times 3z. So this equals 180 minus 16 times 3 is 48z times another 3z. So this equals to be 180 minus 48 times 3, 24, 212, 144. 144 z times z makes z squared. So that's all I have to say, is just make sure that you're putting parentheses in there. So this function notation stuff, that's all that you have to do with that. All right, email me if you have any questions. I'll see you next week. Bye.